up? Welcome to your Daily Buckeye Blitz for a hump day. It's a Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. Hope your week is flying by. It's downhill from here. Not much left to do. Crack a cold one if you like. Go nuts. Who cares? Stop judging everybody. Just kidding. Just kidding. Enjoy your day. So please visit thebuckeyecast.com. Getting geared up, adding some more shirts and hats and designs. So get in there and get yourself something for the season. It's going to be here before you know it. We're in the middle of July. Next week is Big Ten Media Days. After that, you got a week and then camp opens up. So things are happening quickly. Once fall camp hits, you're going to have constantly news every day. Hopefully they open the practices up to the media more. There are the 4 practices early on. I believe there's 4 that fans can go watch. I'm not sure what ticket prices are. I want to say they're like $50, something like that, to go watch a practice. They're probably limited to 100, 200 people at the most, I would imagine. So check that out. So the media will be there on those days. So going to be a ton of news coming out of fall camp and stuff. So keep it locked in here. We also have a recruiting announcement on Thursday, the 18th. Jarquez Carter from Newberry, Florida. He is announcing he just got 3 crystal balls in today. Or no, it was Tuesday. They came in for him to Ohio State. So look for that to be a Buckeye commitment on Thursday. And I'll have a breaking booms for you should he commit. So today, though, we're finishing up our Penn State preview, getting to know some of these, at least the big 3 that we're going to play this year. We already did Oregon, and I made a bunch of new friends over on the West Coast. Not really. I think I made more enemies than most people. But anyways, thanks for viewing and commenting. You really helped the algorithm, and I got like 2,500 views on those 2 videos combined, offense and defense. So appreciate that. Penn State, not so lucky here. Nobody really gives a crap about Penn State, it seems. Does Penn State even care? Do their fans care? I don't meet too many Penn State fans, but I got a question for you. What if I told you James Franklin was 88-39 in his 10 years at Penn State, but he only wins 10 games every other year? Is that acceptable? Is that good enough, Penn State fans? Hit me in the comments. Let me know. Agree, disagree. Is that good enough for you? You haven't made playoffs in forever, and that was the 14. What if you missed the 12-team playoff this year? That probably means you didn't win 10 games. So Franklin's won 10 games 5 times in his 10 years. So every other year, on average, what is not good enough anymore? Now, I know if you call for his head, the shiny chrome domus, who do you replace him with? You can't just go firing everybody and not have a backup, solution in mind. But I don't know who that answer would be. I don't know who would take the job. I think it's hard to recruit to Penn State. It's in the middle of nowhere. So anyways, let me know, Penn State fans or Buckeye fans, whoever, anybody, is 10 wins every other year good enough? That's not good enough at Ohio State, I'll tell you that. That's obvious. So, all right, let's get into it here. So over the last 4 years, the toughest schedule rankings, according to Phil Steele, 2021, they were 7th. That was a tough schedule. 2022, they were 20th. 2023, down to 60th. So a little bit of a reprieve there for the Nits. And then this year, 2024 season, they're 49th. So another soft schedule for them. Now, the thing with the Nits is they win those games they're supposed to, but they never win those ranked games, that maybe are a coin flip. They are 0-6 against Ohio State and Michigan in the last 3 years. But this year, Penn State has 13 returning starters. They were plus 16 in turnovers last year. They get the Buckeyes at home this year. Maybe they can squeeze one out. They also this year don't play Oregon the Cheaters, or Iowa. Their toughest road trips are going out to USC and going up to Wisconsin. So, Mad Town. In 2023, Penn State had the only defense in college football to finish top 10 in rushing yards, passing yards, total yards, scoring, sacks, and TFLs. No other defense could say that. They do have 72% of their defensive production returning, so that's a good thing. You got safety Kevin Winston Jr. He had 61 tackles, 5 passes batted down, 2.5 TFLs a pick. Inside linebacker Kobe King returns 59 tackles, 6 TFLs, 1.5 sacks. And their MVP, they're all everything guy, Abdul Carter. He's moving down to D end. He had 48 tackles, 5.5 TFLs, 5 passes batted down, 5 QB hurries, 4.5 sacks. So he's just a one-man wrecking crew, kind of your Micah Parsons, or think of any Penn State linebacker in the last 50 years. Anyway, safety Jalen Reed comes back, 46 tackles, 4 TFLs, 2 picks. And then outside linebacker Dominic DeLuca, 29 tackles, 4.5 TFLs, 5 passes batted down, 2 INTs, 2 forced fumbles. Now, they did go into the portal, got some quality out of the portal. A.J. Harris, remember him? He was a 5-star corner back in recruiting. He was a corner that committed to Georgia. He played in 7 games there. He's a former 5-star. So he came over from the portal. Then you got Jalen Kimber. He's a corner from Florida. 23 tackles, 5 passes batted down. And then they brought in an edge rusher, Jordan Mayer from Wisconsin. He redshirted last year, didn't play much. So you got, with Penn State, you got some losses of key players. That means this is probably a step back kind of year. I just read it off there. You're not going to lead the country in rushing, passing, total yards, scoring, sacks, and TFLs back-to-back seasons. That's just not likely. So all 3 corners from last year entered the draft. You lost Kalen King, Johnny Dixon, and the slot corner Daquan Hardy. Then you also lost defensive lineman Chop Robinson. He chopped and off to the NFL. Adisa Isaac also off to the NFL. You lose your defensive coordinator, Manny Diaz. He left to take the Duke head coaching job. So James Franklin brought in former Indiana head coach Tom Allen to run the defense. Allen preaches taking the football away from the opponents, and he's a stickler for tackling. He's old school in that he expects players to be in position and finish plays. Allen doesn't get super fancy in his defensive play calling. He'll pick creative times to blitz. They will operate out of a 4-2-5 most of the time. And looking at the D-line, that probably is their strong suit. That remains a strength for them. You got a 2-time All-Big Ten linebacker Abdul Carter moving down to D-end. Carter fills one spot that will be a position change. And then you got former 5-star Danny Dennis Sutton. He'll take the other defensive end spot. Then you got both of their top 4, or all of their top 4 D tackles return. So linebackers, you got a top 100 guy, Tony Rojas, Dominic DeLuca. They're both high energy guys that can find the football. And so this unit is good and has experience. You also got Kobe King. He led the room with 59 tackles last year. Out at corners, this is where, you don't know what you got till you see it on the field, because these guys haven't played a lot. Cam Miller, he moves to the top corner. He's your number 1 corner. Then you got the SEC transfers I mentioned that will battle for the second corner spot. Jalen Kimber from Florida and A.J. Harris from Georgia. Harris was ranked the number 2 transfer corner in the portal. At safeties, you got Jalen Reed. He returns. He'll be at that new hybrid Lion position that Tom Allen is bringing in. So overall, Phil Steele has the units ranked. The D-line number 1 in the Big Ten, linebackers number 2 in the Big 10, 10, and the defensive backs all combined, number 3 in the Big 10. 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 3 in the So still a good defense, but not last year good, you know. I'll do a quick rundown here. Your starting lineup. At the end, Danny Dennis Sutton, Jr., 6'5", 270, had played in 13 games last year, 3 starts, 6.5 TFLs. Then D tackle, you got Devon Ellies. He's a senior, 6'1", 302, 8 starts last year, 5 TFLs. The other D tackle, Zane Durant. He's a junior, 6'1", 288, had 12 starts last year, 5.5 TFLs. Abdul Carter, we mentioned, 6'3", 250 at your other edge. Looks like will linebacker probably be Tony Rojas, sophomore, 6'2", 225. Played in 13 games, 3.5 TFLs last year. At the middle, you got Kobe King, Jr., 6'1", 250. That's a big linebacker, 250. 11 starts, 6 TFLs, and 59 tackles last year. Now, at your strong side or your nickel, depending on the formation, how they bring them in, you got Dominic DeLuca, probably at your strong side linebacker, 6'1", 220, junior, played in 13 games, 4.5 TFLs. And if they bring in a nickel, you got Jalen Reed, the senior, 6 foot, 209, 13 starts, 46 tackles, 4 TFLs. And then your corners, AJ Harris is a sophomore, 6'1", 188, played in 7 games last year. And then your other corner, Jalen Kimber, senior, 6 foot, 185, 11 starts, 7 passes batted down in 2 years at Florida. Your safeties, Kevin Winston Jr., 6'1", 206, 13 starts last year, 6 passes batted down. Your free safety, Zaki Wheatley, is that how you say his name? I don't know. He's a junior, 6'2", 196, played in 13 games last year. So obviously the best player on this defense is Abdul Carter. He gets all the headlines, but he has all the stats too. So Abdul Carter is who I think is the best player in this 2024 defense. But all-time favorite defensive players, there's so many from Penn State. Pick a linebacker. Just throw a dart with a bunch of linebackers on it. You can't lose. I'm going with my favorite, LeVar Arrington. That guy was a monster. He was like Micah Parsons before Micah Parsons. I remember him lining up like in the A gap on a run play or something, and he jumped at the snap of the ball. He jumped over the center and tackled the quarterback as he's falling to the ground for a sack. Craziest shit I ever seen in my life. But you got Paul Puslesny, Dan Connor, Shane Conlon, of course, Micah Parsons more recently. You want to go D-line, where Larry Johnson made his bones. Tamba Ali, Courtney Brown, guys like that. You could go back to Matt Millen, Jack Ham, anybody. I mean, there's just so many to choose from. But I'm going LeVar Arrington, the original number 11. So, all right, Penn State fans, let me know. Hit me in the comments. Is 10 wins every other year good enough for you? And if you call for James Franklin's head, I almost said James Brown. Whoops. Now, if you call for James Brown's head, who do you replace him with? But hit me in the comments. Let me know. That's all I got for you today. Talk to you tomorrow. Go Bucks.